Productions.
So I just wanna talk about this thing that's in my brain. It keeps me from wanting to go on, but I want some gain. Maybe a little fame. Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the We the Patriots podcast. Sal Sante here. Got a good old buddy of mine today to welcome back here. First time on the podcast, Mr. Jason Sanchez.
How you guys doing?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good, man. How about you?
Dude, I've been hanging in there. It's been that pandemic is rolling back around, they say, Pandemic, we got our Supreme Court hammering down on us. We got Joe Biden can't handle the gas prices.
It's crazy, dude. So much has happened since I last saw you. In the world.
I know. I was just going to say that. When was the last time we saw each other? Was probably that. Was it? Oh, shit. I can't even.
Summer freshman year. You remember when McHale threw that little party?
I was going to say, was it that McHale party? Because I feel like I ran into you, but not really, dude.
Yeah. That was it, I think.
Yeah, man. That was a fun party though, but that was a while ago. Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
that was the last time I saw a lot of people from Montville, dude.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I don't think who else was there. Striggs might have been there.
Striggs was there because I drove him there.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. Saw a lot of people. Me neither. I haven't seen a lot of those people since.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of
good.
funny.
You get that little send off, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a fun time.
Going separate ways. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over.
No, you're good. It was a fun time. I remember. What about all those parties at my house though?
Yeah, back in the day. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think I went back like when I first uploaded my phone into like a Mac or something, and I still had the Casa de Asante group chat saved in my iMessages.
That was the name of the group chat?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
That's hilarious.
I remember. Oh, at least one of those, dude. I had to help get your ass escorted out of there.
Dude, I remember that. That was a bad night for me. I remember for some reason all the times I go too deep, I remember it vividly, even though you're not supposed to. Like I just remember yakking at the end of your driveway. Somewhere and my mom picked me over something. We were kids back then, dude.
Oh, dude, so funny. That was I can't remember if that was like sophomore or junior year or one of the two, but oh man, yeah, there was no drinking limits, dude. At those parties I didn't drink. I was too afraid to to let people destroy my house.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. You got a nice house. Jesus. You know how we were back then, like no regard for anything.
No, dude, but when everybody left and it was just a few people, I got hammered.
I remember being outside your backyard too. Good times, man. Good times.
You got to make a swing back here. There's been a lot of changes. We got like a new patio back there, big pavilion.
You had a nice yard back then, even still.
Yeah, dude. It's
a lot of room for that.
It's totally changed. So, oh, dude, yeah, it throws me all back. But then that throws me back to even like further back in the days, dude. We used to be hanging out, little boys chilling out at your place, C's, my place. Oh,
yeah, dude. I mean, it feels like forever ago, but like it really wasn't. And I think that's kind of because of like everything that's happened. Like I feel like COVID and all that, like life just kind of like went in slow motion for a little. It's like it just felt like it feels like a lot longer than it was. But yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to talk to you. I don't like to burn bridges and all that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally agree, dude. I think it's the worst thing to do to your own head. I mean, there's certain things and certain people, if they cross a line, they cross a line. But if nothing's ever happened and then you just go your separate ways, it's good to reconnect, dude.
I'm going to move real quick, Sal. I'm sorry for that.
What are you apologizing for? Get comfortable. Yeah, look at that. Lounging now. Yeah, see, everybody can see these beautiful bed curls he's got.
Yeah, I woke up so I had a class last night. I'm taking a summer class this year. And it's 12 classes total, it runs from 6:30 to 9:40.
Ooh.
That's Tuesday and Thursday. Brutal.
I was going to say, that's brutal.
Yeah. I mean, the professor's a good guy. He's interesting. He's got a lot of like things to relate to. So like the class is like, I can't say with all college classes, but like I'm actually getting something from it. or like so far I am. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm just like down the shore, kind of just hanging out. Got my own place, basically. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to talk about that college stuff, dude. What is your what are you getting technically I guess whatever you're graduating with?
I'm a marketing major, so I'm getting a marketing bachelor's degree.
You minoring in anything?
No, but so I'm going back for another semester. So I was thinking of minoring in entrepreneurship because I'm like 3 classes off, but I haven't really decided on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I mean, college has been pretty good. The first 2 years were fine, and then I always say this, like we went online like the second semester of sophomore year, so like sometimes academically I feel like I'm still like a junior, like second semester junior, but like it was just a little daunting, that switch from online, and like it didn't feel like college in a way, you know what I mean?
No, I totally get it, dude. Luckily I didn't go to college when that happened. That was right when I dropped out.
Yeah.
So
Well, where'd you go?
I went to Raritan Valley Community College. So
Okay.
Yeah, I totally skipped it out. I was going to go to LSU. I saw the price tag, and then also saw that it was going to be my loans and my name signing on the paper. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that that's feasible. Like, you know, you're talking 250 grand minimum with my scholarships, and without, it could have been upwards of 300K, you know,
For the full 4 years, I'm guessing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So like, what's the point? You know?
Yeah, and I got lucky. Rowan, it's not that expensive of a school, and I got scholarships my first 2 years. I unfortunately lost those scholarships because I was slacking a bit in school, but it's not costing me that much, which is good. Shouldn't take me that long to pay it back.
State though, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, it's nice. The school itself, it's you know, like I feel like some people are just, it feels like another planet sometimes. Like even in state, like people just like they act differently, they talk differently. It's like,
yeah,
it's hard, you know. I talk to who I want to, but sometimes you know.
Well, so when I went to college, it was just like I was on a different level of life than the people that were there.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like the whole time, and that's why I wanted to get out as fast as possible. And even that was just county, but you know, you go around, you see like the niches of people that are hanging out together, like the types of crowds, and also like the way that students interact with teachers in college. I don't know, for me it turned me off a lot because there was no actual like intellectual digging happening. It was a lot of facade.
Yeah, it's very surface level. Like here's the textbook, here's the PowerPoint slides, we're gonna run through the textbook, not really giving you like things that you can, I guess, use, you know what I mean? It's just information, kind of.
Yeah, tangible stuff. I
mean, not everything. Like I feel like a lot of my classes earlier on, like the classes junior, senior year, I feel like I didn't get as much from them, but like the early classes, I kind of felt like I got all I needed to know, especially for marketing. Like,
because I've heard the opposite, that like people take the gen eds, they get almost nothing, and then they specialize, and that's where they start to get their unique knowledge.
I feel like it might just be my major, but like it's a lot of just like pitching yourself, basically. Not like in a way, like it makes you. How do I say this? Like it makes you like front end a lot of your learning. Like,
okay,
I feel like it. Like I'm trying to think of an example to give you because I'm not explaining myself right here, but
it's okay.
Like I feel like I learned. I feel like I learned way more towards the beginning than I have the last 2 years. But like I'm doing well in all my classes and everything. But like it just sometimes I feel like it's busy work.
Like they're not giving you stuff to actually ascertain knowledge. They're giving you things to just make sure that you're getting the credits, to make sure that you have this baseline. Yeah.
like a lot of the classes are required, but like I don't. When I'm looking at what I'm learning in the class, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like required. Kind of like everything. It feels like busy work. That's the best way I can put it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the degree. That's like the goal. But like I feel like you're supposed to pick up a few things. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's let me down in that department maybe a little.
Yeah, you could tell me if this sounds correct too, but it gets pretty redundant after you're starting to gain knowledge and you start to make advances in like your way of thinking.
Yes.
After it's 2 years of you actually making advances and gaining knowledge, and then they're just putting very similar types of information in front of your face instead.
It overlaps. The classes overlap.
Yeah, instead of actually.
I'm having 12. Sorry, I'm having like 12 different professors like tell me basically the same
thing.
5 things. Yeah. You know, I'm doing it for the degree, really, like just so I can get those better jobs. But I still need to intern. I got a lot of things to do. So.
Yeah, dude. No, it's messed up. I don't think that. I like to have this conversation with everybody I can, especially our age, though, because I've found that college doesn't have much of a use today unless you're very, very, very specialized and you know exactly what you're going for. Like for someone like you, I think you would have been better off with an associate's degree and going to work. Right.
You know, I you're not the first person who's told me that, and I agree.
Yeah, but it's not like at this point there can't be any regret. You're so close. Just finish it.
Exactly.
But the fact that you were pushed along this path by so many teachers, so many colleagues, so many counselors, like that was it for me. It was all 4-year schools for me. It was they never suggested county when I think county should be suggested for 99% of people. If they,
you remember guidance counselors. Sorry.
If they want to go to college, that's the real thing. Like if you want to go to college, your first option should be in-state and county. It shouldn't be go to your dream school that you can't afford.
Right. 1,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm. And have unrealistic expectations. Go ahead, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say, like, you remember how the guidance counselors were in our school? Like,
oh, horrible. Yeah, they just pushed me to LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Florida. Yeah.
So there's definitely an issue with that. Like, I hope that's not like everywhere. You know what I mean? I hope some guys.
I found that it is. I found that it is. Yeah. Well, everybody I've interviewed so far, even gotten a taste to try to ask. They're trying to push to the higher schools because it's gonna in the end it's gonna funnel the schools more money. Right.
You think they get a piece of that?
It's possible. I think it's very possible that maybe they don't necessarily see a tangible piece of that money, but they get promoted. Mm-hmm. They get, so they're getting suggested maybe they become a counselor at these colleges, right? If they funnel them enough kids. I don't understand why there's such a very concerted effort to send well-educated kids far away from home. It just, to me, it doesn't seem like a well thought out position. For some people, it is correct. It's just, I don't think it's the majority of people.
No. Well, I can't speak to like moving far away and going to school because like I'm still in New Jersey. I always have been, but like
I think it even goes for the 4-year programs. Let me say that, for just sending someone right into a 4-year university.
As opposed to what? Like
instead of preparing them for an associate's degree first, because inevitably you're going to have to get there for most, unless you're going to go for engineering or medical or something very specialized, your associate's degree does mean something. And they don't really ever make that a point because your first 2 years of school and knowledge is actually worth something, right? They just want to funnel you into bachelor's degrees. And I do think it starts there. Because they don't really even acknowledge that high school degrees have value, let alone associates. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I like you said, I'm too far gone. But like I've always No, but like seriously, I'm so far in now. It's not worth like going back. But
No, not at all. You can't go back. You already were there.
But I mean, I do have those thoughts, like how I would have progressed differently. I guess like had I like gone a different route with my college, kind of. But exactly. I mean,
it is 2020. Yeah, hindsight's 2020 always, and I think it's just interesting to look back on and see, how many different teachers promoted it, how many different counselors promoted it, right? The big school, big dreams type of stuff. I think there was only one counselor in our school, maybe, who was like promoting, like actual good college decisions, and he retired, and I forget his name. It was the older guy.
It was the one guy. He was like the only guy guidance counselor.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And I think that he was the only one that seemed to be actually like sending everybody through, like trying to hear everyone out. Yeah. And for everybody else, like for me, I don't know about you, my specific scenario was my guidance counselor quit my junior year as we were setting up college apps. So I never got help with writing letters. I never got help with applications. I never got help with testing. I had to figure it all out myself, and I did well, but like I never had a guide. I never had anybody tell me like, hey, do you even really want to go to a big school? Like maybe you don't need to do all this testing. Maybe you don't need to do all this extra work. Maybe you can actually spend your time doing better things instead of worrying all the time, right? But I had to do all that stuff, researching, figuring the stuff out on my own with my parents when half or more of the school had a counselor to do that. And that wasn't just me. That was everybody, I think, like A to F or something in our age or whatever.
Like what I was going to say is I feel like it's the responsibility of the guidance counselor to kind of pick apart the student a little bit and like really get to like their goals and what they want to do with their life, instead of just giving them a couple options and being like, which do you like best? Kind of, you know what I mean?
Is it in the name?
What's that?
Isn't it in the name of the job?
It is, like, I feel like it's too streamlined a little bit. Like they have a set, they're pitching you like very little, kind of.
Yeah. I don't think that they're really actually doing the full scope of their job. A lot of them.
No.
A lot of them don't take it serious. Like I didn't feel comfortable going to my counselor when I had an issue, like either at home or in school with another person. Like I always knew that the way they were going to solve an issue was going to cause more problems.
Yeah.
So I always I literally just picked it up on myself. And like, that's not good for people who don't have fully formed brains yet.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, yeah, we were just kids, you know what I mean? And we're kind of getting tossed into the void a little bit, you know what I mean? And it was a little bit daunting, but like looking back, I could have gotten a lot more help.
Yeah,
most of it.
I think we all could have gotten a lot more help, and it's sad to say, but I think that for all of this, I guess I'll call it like hoopla that the older generation likes to put up, that they're actually caring, they're actually doing what it takes to set us up for the future. They're actually really, in certain ways, setting us up for failure. And it's putting a lot of the work on ourselves to pick up the slack, to basically acknowledge the fact that, I wasn't put into a good position because of the people up above me, not because of myself. And now I need to reorient. Like maybe they pushed me in a career path that I didn't even like. Maybe they put me into debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe they, the list of things could be endless. Maybe it sent me into a party scene where I ended up having, way more alcohol and way more sex than I wanted. Right. You look back on it in 20 years and you're like, geez, like that, that wasn't a time that I was really proud of myself or what I was doing. But nobody really tells you about that part.
Just guessing, because I haven't talked to you in a while, but you and I know a lot of people that were on the straight and narrow before college and then went absolutely insane once they were really in.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that to this point have turned into different people.
Yep.
Yeah.
In not a good way. I mean, there's outliers, but I feel like it's the school system is very, especially these days, it's just like they kind of promote it a little bit.
That's what I mean. That's where I was kind of going before, where you're not really taking it to the point where the student is doing whatever work they have to do to figure out their life. You're kind of putting obstacles in their way to make it harder at this point. You're not giving them the help that you're saying. You're actually, in some cases, you're really not providing an outlet for certain children. Like some people really just get absolutely mercilessly bullied in high school. And it just goes by the wayside because they're afraid to get help or whatnot. The way that they solve issues is not correct, right? Like, I don't really know what to say about that. Like, you also get into an environment too in the bullying thing where you expect kids not to, pick on the outliers, not to pick up on inaccurate social cues. Like, how do you train kids to not be, ruthless? They don't have that fully educated mind where they're trying to, everybody's trying to boost. Like, not everybody's about all this promoting equity, I guess you'd call it, from the get-go. Like, you have to kind of train why that's a good thing, and you also have to explain why in some cases it's good and bad. If you're never taught that lesson, I think that's, it goes back to education system. It's a failure.
I agree with you. I don't have much to add to that. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, like,
it scares
me. Admittedly, we had a very sheltered upbringing. Do you know what I mean?
And we're saying this from a school that was one of the highest rated.
Yeah. I mean, I have to imagine that, especially in New Jersey, like almost all schools are like that. Not barring specific areas where things aren't as good, but most affluent schools and things like that, I feel like they're all on the same page with this a little bit.
And so when it gets into those less affluent areas, those counselors are ruthlessly going after the ones who are excelling. Ruthlessly. Yes. And they're sending them to places that they are not capable of handling the workload, not capable of handling the material, because they aren't, they weren't brought up from the best educational standards from the beginning, right? You're setting them up for failure, right? So they go to college, they fail out, they have to go home. They already have a beaten down mentality. And now they have to go to county. Maybe they do or don't get their degree. The whole cycle of it really keeps people down.
Yeah. No, it really does. I mean, listen, like it's fairly recent for us, so we remember all these things. But I wonder if it's always been like this, and schools have always done that. That's kind of what this conversation is making me think about, like our parents' generation. I feel like there's a lot more, blue collar, like people in those professions, like in our parents' generation, kind of, because maybe that their counselors and things like that kind of push them in the direction that they thought they needed to go instead of where they wanted to go. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I know exactly what you mean. That's why it concerns me when I think about, to get real personal, when I think about my family business, the way they were brought up, the way their generation was raised, promoted that kind of stuff. How much of my family really wanted to go into that family business? Maybe, a lot of them held back their own aspirations to help piece this thing together. And it makes you, but that just one example makes you think back to that whole generation, right? Like you said, this is our teachers, this is our counselors, this is our principals. These are also our politicians, right? Yep. At this point. So these are the decision makers on all levels. And it seems at this point that a lot of their decisions are I guess, setting up the next generation for failure or struggle?
It really does feel like that, doesn't it?
Right now is especially one time, but I think it's kind of felt like that since I was able to think.
Around what age would you say that was?
I started thinking I was smarter than my teachers probably in like 8th grade. Not necessarily smarter, but like I didn't belong there anymore.
Just like thinking back on you in high school, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because freshman year I basically put my headphones in and stopped caring about the world.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just you.
No, I know, and like the only thing that I really found an outlet in was baseball. I did really well in it. Football I hated, and I really like hurt myself in that. Got multiple concussions playing. I wish I never went back to it. But then I just started, I guess, growing out of that, and then varsity baseball sucked. So I was just in downer my senior year too.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're kind of going back to that. I mean, have you been playing like any kind of recreational baseball like in the years since?
I play all the time, like when I can. Nice. It's just nice. It's with friends, with whoever will play with me. It's just, at 22 years old, who around you has the time to play baseball. So no, but if I can get into coaching, dude, I'll be around it all the time. I'll have to throw, I'll have to hit.
That sounds awesome. It really does.
But that's at least something that I've always enjoyed, and like if I can make money off of like a hobby of mine,
that's ideal.
Right? That's ideal. And so it sounds a lot better than tying myself down to what I've been doing since I was, a little kid.
You want to pivot a little?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I kind of want to head into I really actually had like so many different directions I didn't really know. Have you been following sports at all? Like in college, or have you gone like what has been your attention? Has it all been around school?
Mostly school, friends, things like that. I've been following MMA pretty a lot, honestly.
MMA is definitely a fun one, dude. That's a fun one to talk about too. Have you so have you been watching a lot of it recently? Because I haven't watched many of the ticket fights recently.
A lot. Like,
yeah,
almost everyone. Yeah, I really enjoy it actually.
So since the UFC's been putting out like a lot more content, have you noticed that the fights have gotten, I guess, better or worse?
It's a mixed bag, from what I can tell. Like, it's. I feel like it's gotten better. Really? I think it's gotten better. Yeah, okay. I do.
You're talking about a field with a lot more competitors.
Yeah,
that was so sick.
So what'd you say? I'm sorry.
No, my bad.
No, hop in, Kyle. I don't care at all.
Hop in the conversation.
Yeah, hop in, dude. I haven't been following much MMA, but that the new stuff I've heard is kind of a mixed bag. Like you said, like because you're getting so many different fighters, so much different competition.
I'm not sure. The onus is on the two fighters to like put on a show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, the promotion can't steer that.
I mean, look at that was the last card, right? Where the main event didn't he choke him out 1 round? After under 2 minutes.
It's
or something.
It really is a mixed bag. Like one fight will be good, one fight won't be. But
yeah, no, you kind of put me onto it a little bit. Like I've been kind of like trying to keep up with it.
It's fun.
It's
one of the few sports I can really like. I can watch like all of it.
It's definitely a masculine sport, dude. You can't really get too many women to get involved with it. Like I asked me.
The crap out of each other.
Yeah, there's nothing better, honestly.
No.
Like, in my opinion, at least. Like I know you like baseball. I cannot watch baseball.
Well, no, for me, I grew up with it.
Right.
But like, it's just like name it. Football I can watch. Football is tolerable. Baseball, soccer, can't do it.
Yeah,
for me, I can watch for hours. What'd you say?
Basketball for me is not really watchable either.
No, I just bet on basketball. I rarely watch it. Yeah. But like,
good though.
yeah, really good.
Very good.
But like, basketball, the thing is like, the last quarter, last 5 minutes is where it really gets exciting. Like the build up to that is kind of like,
you could basically send it to the timeout whenever they have those timeouts reserved in the fourth quarter, and you could save all your watching time for that and basically wait and see, oh, wait, it's a blowout. I don't even have to watch this game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's close. All right, so now it's time to watch and see who makes a play or not.
Exactly.
Just tune in for the last like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my fiance's dad has like an obsession with the Nets, right? So follows the game from quarter 1 to quarter 4, and it's like the heart-wrenching, the roller coaster
especially with
quarter 4. Like,
did you follow March Madness at all this year?
I kind of did, and then I kind of got out of it once. Was it St. Peter's?
Oh yeah, that Jersey City college.
So when they got out, because I had a few friends that went there. When they got out, I was like, "Nah, I'm out." Like, I don't really. I don't really care about it, and I made a bracket, and it was shot like first round, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask, like, your friends from St. Peter's, like, I bet they were really excited, like when they were on that little run.
It wasn't like good friends of mine, but just people that I grew up with that went there, and so their whole, basically my whole feed.
March Madness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like some random school.
Yeah. So my whole feed, like Instagram and Snapchat, was just St. Peter's, and I was like, I hope they do well. So I started tuning in. I got a few friends that are into basketball, so I kind of started asking questions, get more into it at the time. But like I said, once they lost, I had no interest in following.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I've never been sporty, I guess.
More of a casual.
Yeah, casual watcher. That's what I am.
I could say that. I'm like a casual with like probably like NBA, MMA now. Like, but I think NFL. That's like the one thing that I've been like really following for a while. I think this season.
I thought you were. I remembered you following NFL pretty well.
Yeah. Because dude, this season because they had like a very wild off season. Like a lot of like big players got relocated.
Yeah, a lot of moves. I've been following.
I think this year it's going to be like kind of a toss up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a lot of teams that last year weren't that good are going to like turn up out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you feel about my Cowboys? You think we're going to be steamrolling or?
I mean, honestly, I would say that they probably have the best shot at the division currently. I mean, thinking of like other NFC teams,
as always,
I think Giants and Washington are kind of a lock of winning at least 4 or 5 games at most. Which, see, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm a Giants fan, and like I think they did a very good job with the draft. They got like 2 like very elite players.
Yeah,
they're kind of in like that transitional period where like 4 or 5 years from now, like they might have a shot. But like obviously right now,
it's so embarrassing to think about.
Yeah, like I try to be like realistic because like I know a lot of people in their teams, they try to like gas them up a lot. Like last year the Giants, they hit rock bottom. And
I can't realistically root for the Cowboys because they always let me down. So I always just ask other people's opinions, and the Giants fans are the best. So if a Giants fan tells me that the Cowboys are winning the division, most likely, I'm feeling pretty good about this year coming up.
Right. I think they have the best shot out of other NFC teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I would hope that they start to really light the fire under Ezekiel this year and Dak. Like you guys are getting.
Honestly, like I wish both of them like the best. Like I hope they like do well because like Dak Prescott. It's so funny how people are like so harsh to criticize that guy. Like, and they completely forget that like this dude was what was he like a 4th round pick or something?
I remember the first year,
bro. Like, he wasn't the number 1 overall pick.
Just replaced Tony Romo, broke him back and everything, and comes in and leads the team to a divisional. And you know what? Listen, I'm sorry. I thought Tony deserved to come back and be that quarterback in the playoffs, and he wasn't. But
people don't give that guy enough credit, honestly.
That being said, the year he put up and then the years afterward, he's really shown to be. I don't know if he's necessarily number one, like when you talk about talent wise, but he's in that. When you put together the whole build, I think he's a top 10 quarterback, and he's getting paid very highly.
Oh yeah, they did. They paid that man. Gave him that was last year. They gave him a massive contract.
Yeah, I think he got the biggest. I don't know if it was the biggest deal, but the biggest QB deal ever, at least.
Yeah, it was like a massive deal. Yeah, they gave him millions, bro, millions.
Yeah. So I hope they light the fire under him. Yeah, because it's nice to not have Odell in the division anymore. There's not much.
I don't think he's. Is he still with the Rams, or is he a free agent right now?
To be honest with you, bro, I don't follow it that religiously, and I don't care about players at this point. Like in baseball, I care about players. In football, I care about only my team at this point.
Yeah,
and I just kind of gauge is the season going to go well for the Cowboys? Should I pay attention maybe to the other, the other conferences there a light up? When Lamar Jackson was coming up, I was kind of religiously paying attention to the Ravens because I was like, that's an exciting person to watch. And, the division got kind of fun to watch. But now that that's fizzled out and the Cowboys are, really contenders, it's kind of fun to pay attention to my own division. I don't have that much time.
Right, yeah. Last season, by week 4, I didn't watch a single Giants game. I would tune in for 1 second and just see them getting blown out. And yeah.
Yeah, for me, the big thing for the football was seeing all those guys kneeling and stuff. Turned me off for a long time. And
that whole ordeal was just
that turned me off of football for years. And then I came back. I basically came back when the Cowboys were basically doing well, and none of that stuff was in sight. So I stopped watching for a solid year or 2. Yeah, it was bad, dude. I didn't enjoy that. What was that?
You guys are speaking another language to me. I do not follow football.
I was gonna say Jason's been removed. Now Kyle's been placed in.
That you root for?
Not really.
Jason, I remember you playing lax in high school.
Oh god, the lax days.
Yeah,
I remember I played freshman year and I quit because I was trash.
I was gonna say, didn't you guys play together?
Yeah, just 1
for
year.
1 year.
Yeah, I was I'm done with this.
Yeah, I mean, I was just.
It was all right though.
I miss lacrosse sometimes. I miss games, not practice, because they're competitive.
Did you play up until what? Junior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you played for a while.
I started playing lacrosse in 2nd grade.
I remember.
I was burnt out at this point.
Yeah, you were kind of into it for a while.
And it started out passionate and then fizzled out.
I get that. Our new thing is badminton.
Yeah,
bro, dude, we love badminton at the rec center at Rowan. We would literally just go there once or twice a week and just play. It was so fun,
dude.
It gets so intense.
I got my own racket and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Badminton. It's a great time. I remember gym class really started that.
Yeah,
when you think about it.
Yeah, dude. Because we used to get slapped by Devonta, and then he would get close enough. But then you guys remember who came in afterward, right?
Who?
I think it was Oscar Yao. Wasn't that his name?
Oh, Oscar Yao.
Oscar Yao.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Oscar Yao.
Shout out to Oscar Yao, yo.
One who would always play during lunch, right?
Yes.
And he would just play against
and he would dismantle the entire school during lunch.
We used to play during lunch. Oh my god, Sal. You're unlocking a forgotten memory.
Yeah, dude. No, this is what I wanted to talk about, dude. You start funneling out memories from school, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny though. Yeah, we used to get slapped around by our coach in that. I remember what else did he play us in that it just wasn't fun when he was contending. Pickleball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like pickleball. I wasn't a fan.
I was good, dude.
I think it was way more fun.
I agree.
I think badminton is definitely a great.
What's that one thing you had to play on the tennis courts? That little rubber ball.
Clips ball.
Clips ball. That was it.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad, honestly.
I love that one. I like that one inside because then you get all the bounces off the walls and stuff. And
yeah.
Good times, man.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time we were playing a clips ball and I whacked Rachel McHale with the racket, dude. Oh man, I sent it right to her elbow, and that dude, the whole girl the whole girls posse in the gym class was like, "You asshole, you son of a bitch!" Like screaming at me and shit, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I did not mean that." And she was like, "It's fine." Like pissed off. Goes the.
Do you hurt her bad?
Yeah, I think I messed her up. I think I definitely gave her like a contusion or something. Dude, I full swung. It wasn't like a half Salisante swing. It was I backhanded it full swing, going for power.
That's funny to imagine.
Yeah, no. And yeah, that gets me thinking back to, you remember pig ball?
I don't. I remember the name.
Oh my gosh. Ball.
Describe it to me.
I don't know if you were in this class with me, but so I had a class with Kevin K, and this kid just punches a ball to see how hard he can hit it. And Max Lau is standing right in front of him and hits him directly in the face and smashes his glasses.
Bro. We had a couple injuries in our class from gym class.
Yeah? What happened to your class?
So I don't know. We might have had gym class like 2 or 3 times. I don't know if you remember.
I think we did.
Yeah, because I remember, like, when I think of gym class, I think of like the crew. It was me, you, and Golka, like at least 2 years.
Oh, God.
Remember that? Oh my god!
Oh
yeah,
yes.
we had a blast.
We had so much fun, dude. I think we had to have class with like Piccolo together. I feel like that was.
We did. We totally did. We had health. We were like sex ed or one of those.
Sex ed and health. We had the whole 9 yards with her, bro. She had to have us.
she grabbed our hand and guided us through all of that.
Yeah.
Piccolo.
Yep. With her little missing little piece.
Oh, stop. We gotta get together with like we gotta get you, me, and Golka back together.
Hell yeah.
For like a drink or something like that. That would be so much fun. Oh my god.
I saw him while I was hanging out with Akan the other day.
Me and Alex are tight. We hang out like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get together. So many stories that would end up coming out, dude.
Yeah, like everyone helps each other remember different things. Like it's really fun, looking back on high school. Not really fun.
High school was we used to mess around like during like lunch.
Yeah, it was bad. It's like the last couple of years you could really mess around.
Yeah.
I gotta light Richelli up on one thing he's got to remember. You remember Robbie Jackson slamming his head on the birthday party?
Oh my god, dude. Freshman football. Oh my god, bro. That was so fucking strange.
Oh my god, this is so bad.
Bro,
Jason.
Remember that one practice when like, bro, we were like on like the upper fields and like, bro, like you could just see like his dad with like binoculars just like posted up like a mile.
Rob Jackson was the wall runner, right? He would like run on wall.
Yes.
Yeah. He would just sprint through the hallway. You did not want to get in that kid's way.
Oh yeah, one time he ran into me. And I stood him up. He was full sprinting, and I turned the corner right around the water fountain there, and he was coming straight down that ramp, and he was gaining speed hard. And so I turned around the corner because I knew he was coming because I heard him, and he like stopped, and I was like, bro, you cannot run around the hallway like this. Like,
you can't sprint like a maniac.
No, I was like, someone's gonna die if you hit him. And he's like, get out of my way, and I was like, not until you go down.
There's no hope with that.
like that shouldn't be our job to enforce that. You know what I mean? Like should be like a hall monitor, or a teacher to be like, stop running in the hallway like a maniac. You're gonna hurt somebody or yourself.
Well, dude, because I remember at that point, like we were freshmen, and he was because I was fully grown by freshman year, so I was like 5'7", 5'8" already, and. Robbie Jackson was like 5'9", 5'10", and like kind of big. So his body
might have been like a year. He might have been a year or two older than us.
That's the thing. I think that instance happened sophomore year, and I was like, dude, there's little freshmen walking around who are a quarter of your size, and you're going to kill someone. Like I'm not talking about bump into them, they fall down, they got bruises. Like you're gonna break bones. Like when you hit someone and you're that much bigger, full speed.
Yeah, that kid was going easily.
That's what I mean. He was playing football, and he was basically learning from that and gaining speed. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to cut him some slack. Not all there.
Oh, no. I cut him the slack. I don't cut the teachers the slack for allowing like situations like that to always happen and stuff. Like there's a lot of endangerment of the student populace.
I agree with you.
Like, because I was pretty mature by way of like violence from a young age, but some people were completely deathly afraid of him just because of the stories they heard.
No, yeah, that kid was just like nuts.
He's a menace.
Yeah.
Bro, it reminds me of the kid from Toy Story.
Sid from Toy Story.
No, he did look like
he looked like him, and he acted how that kid would act if he was in real life.
The character's based on.
Oh my god, man, that's so funny. Oh.
What else? I had something to say. Did you take art in high school?
What's that?
You take art in high school?
Yeah, one class.
You have RAS?
Yes. Well, no, I didn't. I had RAS. There was RAS, and then there was the other one.
Zappa.
I had ZOPS.
Yeah, I had her too.
That wasn't a fun art.
He said, Jason, from what I hear, it's like night and day between those two classes.
Well, because I used to go hang out in Rasiopi's class, and she was the nicest woman in the world.
You know, she passed away.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah, I know she passed away. I was going to mention that when we were concluding. What was that? Like last year?
Yeah. What a shame.
Yeah.
No, she was one of the kindest hearts I've ever met in my life, no doubt.
Yeah, she really was. It was like that class was like a retreat a little bit. It was one of the things you look forward to during the day, in between all the learning and shit like that. You know,
absolutely.
It was like a decompress.
That was like the one thing that was like kind of nice about high school. Like you have like math class and like science and stuff, but like when you have like elective classes like that.
Yeah.
And like what was that one class with
ceramics gym?
Well, what about? I was gonna say, what about Coker's class?
What I'm talking about?
Oh, Sal, the Coker.
I had to bring it up, dude. I had to bring it up.
That was me, you, and Strays. Oh my god.
For what class is this?
This was drafting. It was freshman year, and then I took the sophomore year too. I had Morgan Ruffs. Clearly killed my interest.
I had Morgan Roth for drafting, bro. That was like.
Yeah, he ruined my vibe with it completely. But Coker was one of the best teachers I've ever had, and
he was great. Great. Who was the guy that looked like Trailer Park Boys?
That was like an 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I thought he was a drafting teacher.
Who was that?
That one like drafting teacher or whatever. I thought like he looked. They like called him Bubbles.
Yes. Oh no, I had him.
Oh, yeah.
I had him senior year. Oh right. Crap! What was his name? Oh no, he was the worst, dude. So he thought he knew what he was talking about. He didn't know anything in AutoCAD, so I ended up teaching him AutoCAD. And then he got frustrated that I knew more than him, so he was giving me more and more heavy assignments, and I would just Google how to do it and figure it out. So he would call that cheating, right? So then after a certain point, he said that was cheating. I went to the officer, told him what happened. They were like, no, it's not cheating. Got that taken care of. So then at some point, he was just giving blanket assignments for just me and Akshay because we were the only ones at the highest level of drafting.
Yeah.
And he just starts giving us stuff. And like me and Akshay are finishing it in like 5 minutes, and we're sharing assignments and stuff. And he freaking reports both of us for cheating again. I was like, dude, you have 2 A+ students giving them easy ass work, and they're handing in the same example. What do you think is the problem here? You have 2 students that you're asking them to copy work, and they hand in the same work.
Yeah, drafting is one of the classes where it's blanket. There's a right or wrong.
Everybody's like the same.
It's supposed to be one answer or the other. Exactly. Yeah. So he just started saying F cheating on my stuff. So I had to go through my counselor and be like, listen, like I have a C in this class because this guy is just saying I'm cheating. I don't know what to tell you. Right. Yeah, no. Like, cause I would just finish my work so quickly and play a game the rest of the class and he'd get pissed off at me.
Like, dude, that's not your problem.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So then I had that guy Lebrenz though. That guy was a nut job.
I remember him.
Oh my God. I think I had him for this other class. I forget the name.
Intro to Tech, because that's what I had.
Yeah, that's exactly what the class was.
Yep. So I had you might have been in my class. Were you in my class?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. It was in that like one room, like towards the end,
small, right next to the drafting room. And then I had like Ashley Kolokovo in my class. I had oh crap.
I know, because I'm like remembering like things happening in that class, but like the people that were in
I don't think you were in my class because I had a bunch of younger kids.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I don't remember who it was, but that I do remember that guy was like insane. Like
that guy was off his rocker, bro. He
used to be like a pathological liar too, or something.
I was just gonna say that. He was just gonna
he like made up some crazy shit about his life or something.
I remember that.
I remember he was like, at some point, he tried to tell us he was a motorcycle driver that used to race cars and beat them, like drag racing cars and stuff. And then, so he was telling this story, and I just start snapping a video because I'm like, he's just so full of shit. And I got this like 2-minute rant of this guy just going.
Oh my gosh, bro! I remember one thing that happens in one of those classes. I think I might have taken it when I was like a sophomore or something. And there was this kid in my class. He was like, I think he was a senior at the time. And like he was like really, really good at like what he did, like all the assignments he did. And like at a certain like there was one point where I don't know if you guys had to do the same thing where you had to make like those like little hydraulic like cars, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he made one, and like it was like supposed to some kind of like competition, and the kid's was better than Mr. Lebrenz's. And Mr. Lebrenz was so salty that like he like kept like changing the rules of like how you make your car and everything, because like I think it was like a styrofoam. Oh, Matt Fall was in my class. I just remembered that. Like we had to make like a styrofoam thing and like kind of like cut it, and like his was like super thin, so like it would go a little bit faster. And like he kept like changing the rules, and like eventually I think he just like failed them because he was so salty that his car was just better than
That's
his.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure we like act like collectively as a class like went to like some like administrator and like told him like, listen, this guy is like actually insane, like, and because I'm pretty sure we did our whole class for like some crazy stuff.
Yeah, we did the same thing, but I remember literally scheming that guy so badly, like just making like, you know, gluing his stuff to his desk, like gluing his chair to the ground or stuff like that. Because no, but then he'd get so salty because like he'd be like all fun and games one day, like, oh, the jokes are fun, and then he just snapped one day and he's like, that's it, finals due next week. And it was like 2 months away from the end of the class. He was like, finals due next week, I don't care, get it done. It was like, oh my lord! So that's when we had to go. We had to go to the counselor.
Like,
we had to go to the administrator and be like, yeah, we can't survive this class.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dude, we had some nut jobs teaching when you really think about it. You remember Ramirez? You remember Ramirez saying he was dude, he had like some comment about how he could, if he got in a fight with a lion, he would win. like something ridiculous like that.
Bro, bear like that. Literally giving someone like a Saturday for saying moist smoothie to him, bro.
Crazy. Like that's insane. Like you said that to anybody else, like they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Like this is a teacher.
He was actually like offended by it.
There were certain things that like I guess he made like off limits for his classroom, but even if you set him to him outside his classroom, he'd get completely out of whack.
Jeez.
I didn't even have that guy. I just heard all the stories.
I heard some crazy stories about that guy.
I didn't have him either.
People in the bathroom and stuff. Like,
yeah, he would hold his keys.
He was like
when he was entering the bathroom to catch kids drooling.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a ninja. He was, you know,
slips in quietly, jumps out at them before they could stuff in the pocket.
He's like, "What's going on here, boys?" Busts everybody.
You remember Mr. P?
Mr. P. So. Yes.
What was his full name? Pettinger,
I think.
Pettinger, yeah.
I liked him. Are you gonna say something bad?
No. He was nice. No, he definitely walked in a few times and just turned his head.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. If I were in that position, you need to enforce the rules. You know what I mean? These are kids. Like, you can't be doing that on school property. Like, I understand that. Now I understand that. But, you know, if you walk into a bathroom and the kid has nothing out and he's just standing there, obviously doing something, I wouldn't report him.
No.
If I walk in and a giant cloud of smoke comes out of his mouth,
Yeah, then that's
like
one
you
thing.
can't turn a blind eye to that.
No, because I remember vividly. I don't know who this aide was. It was like one of those cool teachers my freshman year, but it was back in the box mod days, dude. And so these kids were lighting this thing up like literally
Walk in
clouds.
the hallway,
And-
like, smoke under the
dude,
door.
this teacher comes into the bathroom and is just like, "Whoa, party's going on in here, huh?" And just takes a piss and walks out.
Oh my god.
So,
Those days were crazy.
the door, the vapor would come out. Like it would look like
Like a
So you remember everyone walking around with those in his pocket? Like kids would have jeans on. See the entire outline.
Oh my god.
Yo, what's in your pocket? It's my wallet. It's like it's sticking out of 3 inches.
Sticks out like
What's that in your pocket? It's my
pager.
my wallet.
You don't have a right to search me.
Pat me down.
Yeah, pat me down. They just feel like a huge, like cylindrical tank, liquid sloshing around.
So we could talk for hours about high school.
I know, dude. It's so funny though. Oh my lord.
Like I feel like a majority of your viewers, like this is gonna be like they're not gonna be interested, but like this is like great. Like you know what I mean? Like it's great.
I know. And that's how I feel about this whole thing is I just kind of go into it with, you know, like a topic or a mentality and like I already know that most of, if not all of my viewers are going to be turned off by it, but hopefully I get some new ones and hopefully like they understand why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
They get into it because like I'm still talking about the same stuff I usually talk about.
Yeah.
Just my
You really are. Dude, it's really cool that you're doing this. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate it.
I like it a lot.
What do? Do you like upload them on Spotify or something?
Yeah. So go to Spotify, and at this point we're doing video on YouTube. So yeah, once I get probably like 10 episodes, I'm going to try to cut up clips and then start going to like TikTok reels and try to get like more followers that way.
Yeah.
But at this point I want to get like a catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be dope.
But yeah, I'm actually going on to another podcast next week, so that should be fun.
One of your friends? Not
one of my friends, no, just like an actual an established podcast, but they're straight politics. So that's going to be like a little bit of a change for me because I normally like stay away from it.
Yeah,
especially,
you can hold your own there.
Yeah.
No, I know I can hold my own. I basically created this podcast for politics, and then,
I remember it back in the day.
I just kind of weaseled away from it so that I don't know. It just opened up more topics and also makes people more comfortable talking. And like if it goes into politics, so be it. Like you said, I can hold my own, but I don't really care that much. And I've lost a lot of interest in it, to be fair, to be completely honest with you. I really think that I never really watched the news, but I was into like the podcasts and stuff. But then I started listening to more central podcasts and even left-leaning podcasts. And it's like, this whole game is just about getting people caught. It's just about catching people in the wrong, making your money on them. And it's like the whole game of politics is just a bullshit because somebody's lying about something. Somebody's trying to cover up something. You know, if you're trying to side with your side and you're not actually doing your homework, you're not being independent, I don't really want to vote for you. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of my intrigue because I feel like most of it's disingenuous. I think a lot of people have like flip-flopped on views in the past like 4 or 5 years where I haven't, just expanded my views. So, yeah.
No, you were very outspoken the whole time, the entire time I've known you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just all this whole thing you got set up. It's right up your alley, honestly.
It's definitely up my alley, yeah. But I've always been, I don't know if I was ever really outspoken about things that were not true. I usually tried to hold my own in spaces. Like there was times when I was naive and maybe didn't see the full picture. I would definitely say so because I was young. But I definitely represented views that were just not being spoken all the time. I try to do that because I thought it was necessary. Thought it was necessary for people our age to hear them. when you're just being sugar-coated and blanketed with statements that are from one particular angle. I thought it was necessary to, introduce a new view. And a lot of people didn't like me for it, but what does that mean to you? It means that, to me, you can't listen to other views.
Yeah. Well, you can't change how other people think, you know what I mean? Well,
no, it's impossible.
Like they're once they got an idea of you in their head, it's hard to, especially at that age, they just think you're dumb,
Well, think about, so you have a situation where kids have their parents and their teachers and their guidance counselors all telling them one thing, and then the news and media also telling them that thing, and then this one kid is like blurting out something different.
Yeah,
like that. That doesn't sound like, if I was in the opposite shoes, I probably wouldn't change my mind.
What opposite? Like, what do you mean?
So if I was I don't know, because I was always open-minded to listen to other people at least, but I don't know, it seemed like other people who were entrenched or other people who paid attention, like I guess you would say on the left side, right? Because I was a lot of times arguing on the right side of politics.
Right.
The people who would combat me, generally speaking, would just be, very researched on focal points and not really on the actual idea itself. Like, so I had my views based on, whatever I lived up and grew from. They had the ideas from whatever their teacher, parents, ex told them.
Right.
Right. So a lot of my ideas, whenever I was outspoken about it, was something I deeply felt deep down in my heart. It wasn't anybody else speaking. Right.
No, totally. I can see that. And you're kind of, I'm trying to think back. I always remember you not arguing, definitely not arguing, but like you stood your ground. You know what I mean?
Always.
Like you debated, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't allow my voice to not get heard.
Even, would you say, because I didn't have all classes with you, would you say you not talk back to, but like have that conversation with teachers that were trying to tell you one thing that you didn't agree with?
I never talked back to a teacher, but I always tried to ask questions.
Okay.
When it came to teachers, I was very touchy-feely because I didn't want to push their buttons and make them give me bad grades.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I left my debating to other students. And so like a good class for me was actually, believe it or not, Butchko's class. So Butchko in our AP Human Geo class gave us like debate stages basically, and like you'd have to come in with, researched points and stuff. So I'd come in with a point to make, but then I'd have research to back it up, whereas other people would have researched points. Right. So they didn't know what they wanted to argue. They went and they found it. Whereas I already knew going into the debates what I wanted to argue. I just had to find supporting evidence. So I went into those debates with a mindset of like, I have an objective here. I'm going to display my knowledge. Right. When I did that, Butchko allowed me to fly. Like he didn't interject, even though I think that he had views that contended with mine. He didn't interject. He allowed just the students to do battle, basically.
Huh.
And so that was really one of the only classes that I really launched in high school, because I did a lot of it in middle school. I did a lot of like talking back, I guess you could say. I was doing it more from an assholey type, and it really set the teachers off. And it was not coming out of a place of like wanting to better. I was really just angry. So yeah, I changed that. And yeah, when I changed that, like that was good. A lot of the students, like I said, so they came in very prepared, but with their own talking points. So one of the big issues I was talking about was like healthcare, and the issue got down to the point where there was two sides that didn't understand what the other side was talking about in a way. So I was arguing for the point that, you can't really have, a state just controlling the healthcare of a population, or at least you wouldn't want that in an ideal situation. And so the counter person was very against that, giving all this proof based on Nordic societies and whatnot. And I was basically just making the argument based off of American principles and how we'd led down a path that was not really following the Constitution. And so you're arguing from two different bases of understanding. You're not really looking for something in the middle there.
Yes.
And I wasn't very good at that. So I was just there to debate. I wasn't there to actually find common ground, right? And I don't think that the opponent was either. So many times it would end up being me arguing against the same one or two people because they were the only two people that felt confident, right?
So was that class? That class sounds really interesting now that I'm hearing about it, because I feel like I would have benefited from that, actually. But
yeah, I don't think it was necessarily the class. I think it was the class structure that Butchko set up. Yeah, I
had Butchko for what was it, senior year, AP Holocaust and Genocide.
Yep.
Great teacher, passionate about what he was teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Really nailed it in. He was great.
He was you could say he's like a complete expert on
anything. He was a little neurotic and like, he was kind of a goofball, but he passed with fly. If I were to rate teachers based on a number of metrics, he passed with flying colors.
He was one of my favorite teachers. He's the one who got me into national parks.
What do you mean?
He kind of turned on my love for him. Like I remember him laying out in that human geo class, like all of the national parks, all the ones that he went to, all of his pictures. And I was just like, there's just a few of them that I was like, if I don't make it here before I die, I'm going to feel like a letdown.
That's really interesting to hear you say.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Where in particular?
So the one that I haven't been able to get to and I've like kind of sneaked around so far is the Zion over in Utah, I believe. Yeah. So I really want to get over there, and I want to get over to Glacier National Park. That's like, I don't know, for some reason I just want to get up there, see what it's like. I want to get up into Alaska as well, but yeah, I don't know. He turned me on to it.
Let me ask you a question. Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes.
I love my time there. Yes. That's awesome. I'm not outdoorsy, and
see,
before
like that would be so cool. Like that kind of like because like a lot of people like vacation, they think like going to like a beach or like something like that. Going like to those types of like that'd be so cool.
It's enlightening in a way.
I would love
Richie, we got to go on a road trip because I've done so. No, dude, I did 2 of them, so I've seen at this point. I think I've seen like probably 20 or 30 national parks so far.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
that was really cool. It's cool that you're passionate about that.
No, but I think that it's something that everybody should get into. I think it's something that deserves more talking about. It's really like, and it doesn't have to be national parks either. State parks, local parks, it all, like when you look back on it, all looks beautiful, and you're just seeing a little piece of what in God's creation. Really, is my way of putting it.
Unaltered. You know what I mean? Like it's just
like you see it, you're just like, wow,
it's protected. It'll always be there.
Like here,
you know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to. Yeah, you're making me want to travel a little more. So.
No, I mean, but I have a huge passion for it. This COVID thing is killing me with the traveling because I'm not stabbing myself with a needle. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go out of the country for the foreseeable future. But
thing is, I had to get the vax for school.
They mandated it for
you guys were mandated it, and for me, I was very lucky. I didn't have to do that. I had a family business that didn't enforce anything like that, so I just stood my ground on that, and
kind of blew over. Now you're fine now. Like nobody's really hassling you for it.
It wasn't even like regardless of whether you had the vaccine or not, it still didn't like there were still like restrictions regardless. So.
Yeah. So now I'm not sure how they carry the restrictions overseas, but
right. Because I know a lot of places like in major cities like New York and stuff, like you couldn't like go out to restaurants or like certain places without proving your status, and that's just kind of
for
absurd thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For events, you still have to you have to provide like I'd give them just a fake COVID card. Like here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do that, Blake. Dude.
Yeah, no, I know somebody like to get past Rowan, they got like a fake card and like they filled it out and they scanned it and then it went right through. So, yeah, I mean, shit.
I mean, dude, I got that virus. Excuse me, twice I think.
Me too.
And so I.
Yeah, well, let me hear your.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, because people are very
okay. So, Jason, I'll put it this way: we can go dive headfirst down into this, or we can steer right around it.
All I was gonna say is, so I got it, and I didn't even realize I was sick until I got a test, and then a week later I got strep.
Okay.
You remember, like strep, like when I was a kid, it
like
was a
full on strep.
Yeah, I got strep, and it was 20 times worse. I was actually dying. Like it was horrible. I couldn't swallow. My throat was closed completely, and I kept salivating, so I needed to like spit. It was disgusting.
Wow.
And I was actually like, I was miserable the entire time I had it.
Was that the first time or the second time you got COVID?
The first. The second was the beginning of 2021. Beginning of the school year. September.
Oh, September.
Yeah, early. And that was like when everyone was getting that new
right. It was going whatever variant, Delta or something.
Yeah. So we could keep talking about this, but
See, the weirdest thing for me, because I don't know if you had the same thing, the smell and taste.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to talk about it. I'll put it that way. So I to this day can't smell strong chemicals, strong smells. Like I'm very muted, and farts and like shit smell. I can't smell.
Really?
Gone. Yeah.
A lot of people. I knew one kid who like he had it like this was like spring of 2021. He got it like around like March of 2020, and like he told me like his smell was like still gone. Like he couldn't smell anything.
So you're still like that?
I cannot smell farts and also gas. So we had like a small propane leak in my house, and my brother's like, it smells like propane. Went, found it, and shut it off. Bro, I couldn't smell a thing. I was just getting lightheaded.
That's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Really dangerous. No, it's really dangerous.
So have you heard, apparently there's to get your smell back or taste back, you mix oranges and brown sugar and eat it.
Really?
And like, I don't know if this is bullshit. I just heard it. I haven't tried it.
What does it kind of like jumpstart your senses?
I think it's whatever's in either of those things fixes it.
Dude, anything to give it a shot, because listen, I love not smelling farts and all, and it was really cool on a road trip with my dad. But other than that, man, listen, I kind of need a sense of smell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of the five senses, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's bizarre that a disease could take that away from me, or take that away from multiple people.
See, like I would have much rather preferred like getting actually sick, like you feel body aches and like your nose is like stuffed up and whatever. But like the fact that you have like, because I had it around like December, and like we had to isolate, like me and my mom had to like isolate ourselves from like our whole family. So like it was like so bad, and like I was like eating food and like tasting things, and I'm like it's just not enjoyable. Like you're eating like something that would be like really good, and it's just nothing.
It's bland, right?
It's the most bizarre thing ever.
I was just gonna say
it's so bizarre.
That's the side effect of it is very strange to me.
That's what makes me think it was made in a lab, dude. That's what makes me think it's so concocted, this thing.
I hold that theory.
Whatever the origin was it of, it's just like, yeah.
I don't know if it was an intentional leak or they were just.
That's what I'm not saying it was an intentional leak, but I think that some motherfucker was playing around with some things like, oh, let's see if we can make it do this. Let's see if we can make. No, I think if I go really down the rabbit hole, I think that there's way too much evidence of some mishandling here. And, some people got killed, some documents got flushed, and I don't know if we'll ever know, really.
Yeah. We really might not, like, ever.
I genuinely, I think they'll just be cover up after cover up after cover up.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame,
Imagine 20 years if leaked how it got out or something crazy.
It'd be crazy. That would be crazy. It would turn the whole world upside down.
Yeah.
It would, yeah. But you look back on it, it's basically the reason that we have the president that we have now. It's you're looking on bigger things. It has a lot to do with what's going to be going on with this food crisis. It seems like with this current inflation, it's just got so many different tentacles that it's fucking with everyone's lives now, right? So like first, everybody basically lost their job, had to figure out a new way to work, go remote, whatever, right? Then on top of that, you finally get your stuff back, get your shit handled. And now we're back in inflation once we're finally get our feet underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, it makes perfect sense from a control aspect.
I don't know if it's a controversial thing to say. On the surface level, the last 2 years, it seems like it comes off as like a complex plot to like sink the United States.
So would you think to say, I love this? Would you think to say the United States or the world?
The United States.
Okay. Because it seems like to me we've sold out to China. It seems like we've completely given up all hope of creating things in-house. We're at this point we're like a gig economy on a large scale, and we have no pride in ourselves. We don't hold our heads high. We don't have a good leader. It seems like we're just heading down a toilet bowl, just getting flushed.
It's really on all fronts.
Emotions.
It's on all fronts. It's the morale, the economy, our health.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
Things
I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting slammed and getting hooks thrown at us left and right, and we don't have anywhere to turn. You know what I mean?
It's a little depressing. You know what I mean?
Just a
lot. The last.
The only thing that I've found, and this is the worst thing to do, is to just put your head down and not pay attention to it and not look out. But then, you do that, and I pick my head up, and 2 years later, look at where we are. You know what I mean? That's why I have a podcast right now. That's why I'm trying to get my word out. Like, I've been holding so much shit in, trying to fix myself, do whatever, work hard, make money, right? And I turn around, and it's all for what? For our world to fall apart underneath us. This stuff doesn't feel right.
I feel like a majority of people, like in the U.S., could probably relate to that.
I agree, and I don't think it crosses. I think it crosses party lines. I think it crosses race lines. I think it crosses every sort of line you can make. Mm-hmm. Is that, unless, I mean, even if you're profiting off of all of this, don't you look back and just be like, yeah, that might not have been good. That might not have been good for everybody,
Assuming that.
I don't think they have that capability in them. But I'm saying, for rational human beings, I think that people at that scale can even relate.
You always hear. I think so too. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, hearing ad nauseum when you're a kid, like you want to leave the world a better place for your kids, like that line. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like as you get older, that holds a lot more meaning. Do you know what I mean?
It holds meaning, and I think you see it outside where, maybe we're being a little dramatic, but it feels like the world's just getting worse since we came in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about that. What that has to be the generation that's in charge right now. They must have mishandled a lot of things.
Yeah, I think, but I don't think it's only the generation that's in charge, because then you got to look at it systemically. Who was in charge before? Who taught these people? And who are they teaching now that are going to be our leaders? Because if you have incompetent leaders teaching new leaders, how do you think those new leaders are going to turn out?
Not good.
Incompetent is the word, Kyle.
It's really profound. It really is.
Yeah. So it takes a gut check from America. I don't know if we have the fucking nuts to do it right now, but like I said, we don't have leaders. We don't have anybody to look up to. We don't have our role models are fucking drug addicts, alcoholics, and sex addicts. We don't actually put icons in front of our young people to worship. We set out bad ideas, in my opinion, for our young people to follow. And you look back and you're wondering why shit's happening.
If it hasn't already, it's going to come to a head.
Yeah. That's how it feels, man. But like you said, it's kind of depressing looking back on it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I I don't want to get the years wrong, but like 2013 to 2017 or 18, some good years.
There were some good years, yeah.
Like I feel like people were a lot happier.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if people were upset that Donald Trump was elected, I feel like everyone was like content. I don't know.
More so than now, at least.
Definitely more so than now. Yeah.
Content with what they were doing, the direction the country was going in, the direction the world was going in, and just everything in their lives. Optimistic.
Yeah, when you have something good at the top, it's easy to actually go along with the flow. Nah, no, man. But you look back on so much of this stuff, and like I think it bleeds back to our beginning conversation. Like our leaders are not just our politicians, man. It goes back to our teachers. It goes back to our counselors. It goes back to our principals, our police officers, our even small town mayors and stuff. Like those people are all just as corrupt. Those people are funneling this. It seems like a defunct way of teaching and learning that's heading us into a bad path that nobody wants to acknowledge.
Sorry, I was just moving. I gotta plug my computer.
Yeah, you're dying.
Yeah, I mean, it's systemic, all of it. Like you said before, like I didn't even think about that. Like with the generation that's in power right now, or just in charge, I guess is a better way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
That they were taught. They were the people that came before them led them.
They taught them. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it. They taught them their tendencies, their frame of mind, political opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And now they're going to be the teachers of the next ones. Yeah. That's how you have a systemic thing just start degrading. Yeah.
It's distressing.
Yeah, it is craziness. But, hey, man, that's where you get when you talk politics on the podcast.
Yeah, we had a great time like half an hour ago, and then we just descended into the press.
Hell, dude. No, I'll try to close it up on a better topic so we can go out happy and smiling on each other.
Yeah.
So what do you been doing like for yourself? You do like a lot of reading. Do you still like do like a lot of YouTube watching and stuff?
Yeah. Not as much as I used to, but I try to, I don't, whether it's, I got a lot of interests and I don't follow through on all of them, but like I always keep tabs on different things. So like I find like the universe, politics, I'm blanking right now, but like I find a lot of things interesting, and I try to listen to like long-winded YouTube videos sometimes, like just like information dumps kind of, because like it's nice having some things in your back pocket, because like you never know when something will come up you're actually somewhat knowledgeable about it, you know what I mean? And you can talk about it.
Absolutely. No,
and I'm working on that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, things you can do. You could start just start making some stuff on your own, man. Really start feeling it out. Start feeling out what you want to do, what you want to create, what your passion is, and find it out and go from there, man. That's my only suggestion to you. If you, if you can find a few books that like light your world up, there's nothing like that. Yeah.
I'm right now. I've discovered that I have a little bit of an issue with like scheduling my time. So I've been trying to write things down, really just sort myself out a little bit.
Use your phone, dude.
Yeah, the notes app. I've been using it a lot. You can cross things out.
Use the calendar app.
Calendar?
Yeah, schedule your shit. Reminders and notes is fine too, as long as you got like a date on it.
Yeah.
And you hold yourself to it, man.
I've been trying. It's
hard to go from. So this is a problem that a lot of like our parents' generation has, is like keeping it in your head and not actually being able to lay stuff out. right?
Right.
Like you get confident in your ability to ascertain the information and say, oh, okay, I can schedule this in this block. I have time for this, that, and the other thing. And then the day comes and you're overwhelmed because you didn't actually block out the time, right? So if you actually write it down and force yourself, oh, I have a break. I have a 30-minute break in between these two things. I actually have time to do what I want, right? Rather than trying to make that time work on the fly, it actually changes the game. It changes your whole day, your whole structure. Definitely recommend it.
Makes it go by faster also, just in my experience. Like,
yeah, it makes it go by faster because you have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're always like, you're not directionless. You have a path, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that with a lot of things, like even working out. If you're not writing down goals, what are you trying to get to? What are you trying to do in life? Like, what are you trying to get yourself to in 3-5 years, right? Like, then you're just directionless if you don't actually get there, right?
Yeah, that's very applicable to my life right now, and I appreciate that advice. Actually,
no, of course,
I'm working on it.
And yeah, it's stuff that I love to help guys out who actually like find it too. Like Vinny's one of them who just needed a little push, and then starts finding out stuff he likes and actually pushes towards it. There's like a lot of like reading and audiobooks too that turned me on. Like that's what got me into reading too. And
got any examples?
Yeah, so I would say stuff that gets your mind turning in like an entrepreneurial mindset. I would definitely recommend Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then a really simple one, a really simple read, you can even do the audiobook, would be The Richest Man in Babylon. It is just very short, simple, seems too easy to really be true. And then you implement the ideas and it goes works wonders. All right. Then just on a personal side, I don't know if you ever heard of Jordan Peterson, but 12 Rules for Life was that was a life-changing book for me. Like I even have a note that pops up in the morning every day at 6:10 in the morning when I wake up, telling me the 12 rules. Yeah. Just a little outline.
One of his things was like make your bed every morning. I remember that.
Well, at that point,
but
at that point, it's ingrained, dude. You could probably it's not made perfectly, but it's made. You can see the bed in the back. So, yeah, I don't slack off on that. I try to do what's best for me. I definitely slack, dude. I definitely slack, right? But I try to do things with thinking and intention, especially with my relationships with people. Like that was one of them. That was a game changer for me. It was like one of his rules is you make friends with people who want the best for you. You don't set yourself up and surround yourself with people who want to take you down, who don't want the best for you, who don't want to help you grow, right? And that's another idea that's really in Think and Grow Rich, but I expanded upon it after I'd already read 12 Rules.
The one thing you just said, I feel like me personally, I learned the lesson of like pick your circle wisely. I feel like I learned that lesson a lot earlier than a lot of people. 'Cause after high school, I feel like I narrowed the people I like keep in contact with to a level where I knew everybody and I knew what they were up to and I could keep in touch with them and like actually like have a conversation, like a good conversation that's beneficial to both parties, like often, instead of knowing people surface level, knowing a lot of people surface level and just having that, all talk.
Yeah, because that was most of my relationships in high school, basically. I know, I don't know if it was a lot of my fault. Mostly, I'm sure it was, but it goes both ways too. Like when people don't want to dive in and ask you about yourself, like you don't want to go out and say it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, so my circle was basically zero throughout all of high school. I didn't really hold anybody tight. And then after high school was when I started like actually determining, like, all right, this person's actually probably worth more of my time.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Just on a personal level, like, so like for example, high school, I knew these are great people that I love to this day, but I was around a lot of people who would smoke all the time. Right. Mm-hmm. And I kind of picked up that habit. Yep. For a very long time in my life.
Yeah, I stopped
I stopped smoking basically. Like I'm
Good.
Sporadically I do. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like 5 months ago, I just stopped. Like I stopped smoking every day, and it kind of cleared my vision a little bit. Not physically, but
No, mental clarity.
yes, absolutely. Like it's a lot better. And yeah, I got my addictions. You know what I mean? Who doesn't? But I think I've been able to stay away from the ones that are really detrimental to my health. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can go down some real rabbit holes, bro. Especially in today's society, man. You can really lose it.
100%.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, you even look around, like kids our age now are dying. I was waiting for it to happen. But it's it is what happens when you stop, when as an individual you stop paying attention to what's good for you and what's not.
Unfortunately, at my school at least, like some of my roommates, Jason, I'm sure you could back me up on this. I've seen.
Nice to hear from you again, buddy.
I know, I've been here. I've just been lurking. Bro, it's like sad, honestly. Like when you see people like lose their ways like that. Like in particular, there were like two of my roommates that were like growing up a lot. Like at least from like Montville, like you're really like I mean like yeah, people like smoked weed and whatever. But then like you go to college, you see people doing like pills and like
yeah, that's the stuff that I start getting afraid of is pills and then any sort of like harder drugs that you're chancing.
It's like it's scary, bro. I've seen these kids. They look like zombies, like complete zombies, and like it like makes me so uncomfortable. Like when
some
like,
people get to that point on weed, dude. Some people get to that point on weed.
I was there. I was totally there.
I knew it because I really don't smoke to the point of getting high. I just go nice and light. But a lot of people, man, they just get absolutely zonked, and then they go into class, they do their studying, they just how are you actually able to keep your mind flowing in that state? It's impossible. And then you talk about pills and alcohol. That's just a different story, man.
10 times worse. But just personally, like you past a certain point, you forget how clearly you think when you're sober.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're completely sober.
Absolutely.
Like you just forget. Like it's not that you don't like. I don't know.
I can't do anything if I smoke. If I smoke, like I'll
just gotta hang out,
sit around, and just like watch YouTube or something.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's part of the tolerance that I've built up too. Is that but I've never really been affected by it that way. I've never been laid out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So even from the beginning of it, so I never had a good relationship with it, I guess, in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I see people around me that just get just too much. Yeah. You're just too much. And I don't, saw myself going down that rabbit hole a long time ago, and I just didn't put myself around those people that would let me get that far.
Yeah, because I never really smoked like a lot. But like after moving into my house, like I'll like walk outside my room, and then like somebody would be like, "Oh hey, you want to hit this joint or like something, or do you want to smoke?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, why not? Sure."
He was talking about that, like just the circle that you're around, not circle, but like just the company you keep,
Right. No, exactly. Because like at a certain point, I like was kind of like falling into routine where like if I really had nothing going on, that I would just like sit around and just like smoke, and then I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit like too much. Like maybe I should dial back a bit. So that's kind of what I did.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it becomes and it becomes like a catch-up game because I know even though I was at County College, like the stoner scene is unreal, and like you can't get away from it.
Yeah, it's promoted nowadays. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well I mean, it's legal now. So.
It becomes like a point too when you're like, all right, well I guess I'm not going to participate in this thing that all these guys are doing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like, shit. Like, you got yourself into a bad little clique there.
I think when it comes, once you finally realize that you're performing just in everything, like way worse than you would be if you were sober, you can start to dig yourself out of that hole a little bit.
Yeah, it always starts here, dude. Whenever there's an addiction or there's something that you need to change, and if you don't want to change it, there's no way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Like sometimes you just need a little extra push.
Mm-hmm. or a kick in the ass. Like
That's it.
they're telling you, like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
well, no, I mean, the best example of that is the guy that I've been having on here. That guy, Matt Andrew Drake, like keeps falling off the wagon, and like at some point, you don't know when the guy's actually doing what's best for him, or if he's just swinging aimlessly, and you don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I genuinely don't know. The second time I talked to him, I think he was high. So when you're trying to have intellectual conversations with someone who can't go there, makes you think.
Yep. So I don't need to say that. Forget it.
What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, like, sometimes smoking does it elevates a little bit, and I can think a little differently, or I can think about something in a different.
Creatively is like the way you say, like it opens different ways of your mind, but it's like it's not actually a thing to keep you straight. Yeah,
it's not an upper. It's ultimately it relaxes your body, it relaxes your mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it calms you down. Exactly. No, I'm in total agreement, man. And that's why, you give all this the straight legalization, and then you don't give the pep talks. It's like, I don't think it's going to help anything. I think that I think the chemical's got some great properties for some people, and I do claim myself as one of them. I think it helps with my own head, calm my anxiety down a bit. But other than that, I wouldn't really use it. For some people, man, the way that they get from one hit, I wouldn't recommend them take any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they touch it once and they can't control themselves. They have to have it more. They have to keep having it. Like, I don't think that's a good habit for a lot of people to pick up.
I'll take it a step further. I don't think it's a good habit for anybody to pick up.
Really?
I don't. I think
in the long run, definitely.
I just think like smoking sporadically, maybe like 2-3 times a month, like maybe even less. Right. Just like the days where you're just kind of like hanging out and you really have nothing to do.
Like you can make that same case for like drinking and stuff.
That makes sense. I think you can make that same case for drinking.
Yeah, sure. Like you're like hanging out with your friends and you're having a good time. Like, yeah, by all means, it's like in moderation, like it's okay. You know what I mean?
That's what drinking's always been for me, though. I've never had a bad lapse because like I always have bad hangovers. Like I always get my ass kicked. So
like I would the next day you're just like, God, you feel like you got hit by a truck. Like,
I've never gone the drinking rabbit hole. Never have.
I just like,
I see a lot of people go down that one, dude, especially in college.
Yeah.
I mean that it seems obviously way more dangerous than just smoking, for example.
It's way more dangerous than smoking. But yeah, I think that takes away from your broader point, which was that smoking just shouldn't be for anybody in the longer term. And I think that's interesting to hear.
Well, it's not smoking. It's like smoking at all. It's just like
no. It's the constant
daily habit, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Like during the early stages, you kind of got to be cautious, like, especially you're like, oh my God, I really like the way this feels.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
why would I ever want to not feel like this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the same thing with drinking. Like, oh my God, I feel so good. Like, like I want to feel like this all the time. And then
then you just push your limit. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I totally understand that, man. But hey, hopefully I take that new perspective in, huh?
Yeah, yeah, totally. This is an enlightening conversation for sure.
That's what it's for, man.
I enjoy it.
I'd love to hear it though. But I got to get down to your house there soon, dude.
Yeah, 100%. We got the boat in right now. We're getting the jet skis in this weekend. Come down, we'll hit them. Yeah, great time. Great time, bro.
We'll have a little bit of fun, dude.
Yeah, dude, we'll do that soon.
It's very peaceful out here too.
Yeah,
dude, it's
especially
calm down from here. It seems.
It's like a nice little retreat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Not for sure.
No, I'm fucking looking forward to it. Seems like fun. Definitely make something happen, dude. I want to do another conversation too. We got like 2 hours here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like towards
the flow.
Yeah, it's you moderate the flow very well.
It's all about.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
I feel like towards the beginning it was like a little choppy because I was just getting like comfortable.
Yeah.
But like once we just started shooting the shit, it just kind of like flows. You know what I mean? And it's not awkward, but like just like it's like a conversation. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And yeah, the way I like to put it to like people who are just coming on is like the first 5 seconds you feel weird, especially in person. You got like headphones on, things are a little awkward, and then all of a sudden you're just talking to the same person you were talking to before we got here, and there's nothing that changed.
Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, that was very cool,
dude. I enjoyed it a lot too, man. Like I looked up and saw hour 40. I was like, all right, I gotta edit this. I should probably think about closing it out though. But no, dude, I had so much fun. Thanks for coming on, dude. And Kyle,
dude,
thanks for swinging in.
Back.
Yes, sir.
I'd love to come back. Like whenever we can schedule that again.
I come down, I'll bring the mobile set, and then we'll fucking do a beach.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
All right, sounds like a plan, man. Let's do it.
Sal, great talking to you, bro.
Hey, it's great talking to everybody. Hope you enjoyed my friends Jason and Kyle, and we'll definitely be catching you soon.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody. Sal here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening, watching. You guys are the best. Every bit of support, I appreciate you guys. Be sure to smack that like button, hit the subscribe button, try to stay tuned with us, and hey, we'll keep pumping it out. I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much.
I'ma make all these bitches say, damn, I wish I were the fucking state. I wanna be something, not nothing. Trapped inside my dream and I'm running away from these demons. But the feeling's so good, I'ma keep dreaming.